I'm a guy. I scroll through Instagram. The algorithm feeds me thirst traps. And you go into the comments of those things, and it's immediately like men giving the women shit. Oh, have some respect for yourself. Or OnlyFans detected, opinion rejected. Or she's only 19. How devastating that she has an OnlyFans. She's ruining her whole life. My theory is that people who slut shame, who lead those comments and who like those comments, and these dudes in the manosphere, they only do that because they haven't actually had sex with someone who was sexually awakened or comfortable in the bedroom, or maybe a slut, right? Because it's better. I don't know what we're talking about here. I don't understand it. If you think about straight sex, you tell half the population that it's good if they get a lot of sex, and you tell the other half of the population that they should never give sex to anyone. They should be reserved. They shouldn't have sex. It doesn't make sense. Not to mention the fact that when you comment on those videos, that increases her engagement, which makes the algorithm thinks that more people are interested in it, and it shows it to more people. So if you really cared about this, you'd mark it as not interested in your feed, and then you'd move on with your life. What are we talking about? Why are we telling half the population of this, in this example, straight hookups, that like they shouldn't get to do this thing that feels good when under the right conditions of like consent? And it doesn't even make sense that they're complaining about seeing it on Instagram. Like, I agree you shouldn't have your entire Instagram be thirst traps, but like you see this thing and it's a video or a picture of a person that you find attractive, and then you complain about it, and then you're like, wow, you shouldn't do this. Have some respect. Why can't you just look at it and be like, nice, and then move on? If you don't want it in your feed, you hit the little dots, and then you hit the not interested button, and the algorithm shows you less of it. I think it's about control. Men don't like that they don't have control over women. They don't like that when they tell women to stop doing this, they don't stop doing it. They can't control them. Also, the fact men don't like that women can do something that can control them, right? Like Poison Ivy in Batman, or the sirens in the Odyssey, right? The pretty women on the rocks who are singing a song, and the men are like hypnotized by it, and their ship comes in, it crashes on the rocks, they kill the men. They don't like that women can use these OnlyFans to, number one, be more successful and make more money than them, but number two, do so in a way that's like that men all of a sudden want to dish out their life savings to these women. This whole thing about, well, I can't control the woman. She's doing this thing to hypnotize me, and therefore it's her fault. It's the same logic that people use to blame the victims of rape. Well, oh, what did she do to invite him in to rape her? It takes the blame off of you for not being able to control yourself, and instead puts it on her for making you do this thing. You know, there's all these claims about how the porn industry is exploitative and how it's bad, and women go into it and they come out of it and they say, I regret doing all that. But do you understand that when they make an OnlyFans, they are literally their own boss? They set their own hours. They can make content from their bedrooms. They literally don't have to leave their house to make money. The only reason the porn industry is so exploitative is because they go into this industry that's dominated and managed by men, and then the men exploit them. Yet again, taking the blame off of men for not being able to control themselves because they just have to exploit women because it's profitable and because women are objects to be exploited. And two, because men view women as subservient creatures, that the only way they can do things is by asking permission. If you're a man in the bedroom and a woman takes charge or is confident, that's her leading. Men don't like women being sexually awakened because they didn't do it with the man's permission. Because the man views the woman as an object, right? Men don't like that they're not in the driver's seat of something. Women can make whole careers out of this, and they can enjoy the attention it brings them. I saw this video of a podcast between Charlie Kirk and some porn stars. Charlie Kirk asked one of the porn stars, if I could snap my fingers, give you $1 million a year, and you didn't have to do porn anymore, which she said was more than she makes in a year, would you still do porn? And she said yes. She's like, I like the attention that it brings me. I like the idea that people are getting pleasure from watching me, have sex or whatever. I like the idea that I'm bringing people pleasure. And he's like, oh, I would say that he thrives much more on attention than she does. He goes to these universities and he speaks at events and he debates people live because he likes bringing them to him and proving them wrong and triggering the liberals. I have seen the way Charlie Kirk's face lights up when he says something that upsets someone for the sake of attention. You don't do that unless you want attention. And the attention that he brings is all based in making you feel fear and anger and hatred towards certain groups of people, right? Whereas she's doing something for attention that's bringing people pleasure. Yeah, there's porn addictions and you should work on that. Obviously, don't let an addiction to porn or drugs or media, especially conservative media, run your life. I've had sexual experiences with women who are more or less reserved. And if you're going to ask me whether the experience with a woman who was more reserved was more like, oh, I don't know, or the women who are experienced and comfortable and know what they're doing and are confident, I would prefer 10 times out of 10, I'm taking the latter because it makes me feel like she wants to be there. And that's not to rag on people who don't have experience because you don't need experience to learn how to communicate. Charlie Kirk makes people feel less comfortable talking about sex, and he makes people feel bad for having normal human sexual urges. Why aren't we encouraging women to have sex if they fucking want to, and to learn about their bodies and their partner's bodies and talk about shit? There's nothing wrong with that.